Russos brand family. We are family.
I ain't even got a chance to say nothing yet. You already told me that I'm the black Satan incarnate, motherfucker. Chill out.
Oh. And first of all, let me say something real quick. The reason we don't have any women on the show is because the women who I talk to want to come on the show always ask me to send them a link so they can look at previous shows. So I do that. After they look at it and they see Mr. TJ, the Chicago Kid, they don't want to come on. So they use bullshit excuses that, oh, I can't make it or this and that and that. I know why they can't make it, because you was down for it before I sent you the link. Then you saw this nigga and now you're not down.
So it's my fault.
It's your fault.
That's what it sounds like.
Okay. Fucking funky bitches. How about that?
Because of Jarmon Gant. That's never happened.
I don't give a fuck. First of all, here's the issue. Trump has no proper hold control.
What's hold control?
Even if they see that I'm on the show, they should still honor their commitments and obligations. I shouldn't be able to bag them out from that. So you have no proper hold control if somebody like me can scare your bitches off.
Now, will that be the same as pimp hand?
Exactly. His pimp hand is not strong.
Look, you ain't, look, let me just say this. I had a nice chick ready to line up. I had a nice busty white girl ready to come on. Not the one that we had on before, but another one, and she likes to get down and smoke the stuff. She looked at the show. She was like, when is it gonna be the next one? I'm like, I don't know. I said, why? She said, well, he seems a little like he just mean all the time. I said, that's who he is. I said, you just go back and forth, say what you feel. She's like, nah, he might make me curse him out. So it ain't got nothing to do with proper hold control. You scare the females away.
Well, I will say this though, if I can.
Go ahead.
If she says that, she may not be confident in her opinion or argument game. So I ain't gonna blame him for that.
Right, because most feel like they need to come into an environment where they can have their way, and they see obviously that I'm not going to let them have their way. So that intimidates them. You dealing with not only is it an issue of you not having any proper hold control, but for all the women that's out here listening to this particular show, that listening to this particular, you some weak bitches. You some weak, funky bitches.
No, that one's on you.
I'll take that. You. If it's so bad that you let a person like myself intimidate you from coming on the show, it's because you want to come on the show, spill your bullshit, and because we men, we supposed to let you have your way. No, fuck that. So if you backed out because you seen some shit that I said and you feel like I'm mean, you're not gonna have you. Fuck you, you weak, you're a funky bitch. Because we've had women on this show who's been able to interact with me and it's been okay. But if you're one of the types that, oh, he's gonna call me on my bullshit, I know, then fuck you. We didn't want you on the show anyway.
Now, I was with you, but then you call him funky bitch. See, that's where we have to. That's when we have to draw back a little bit, just a little bit.
But these same women are comfortable giving men all kind of labels. See, this what happens is this. Let me get focused. Let me concentrate. Not every woman is confident enough to be around a man or be around men who are not going to let them have their way, who's not going to allow them to just be right, who's going to challenge them on the shit that they do. That's foul. You got some women that don't want to be around no men like that because it's some simp ass, gump ass motherfuckers, some beta males who, in order to, move to the front of the line trying to get coochie coupons, they just pretty much let them get away with anything. They get away with saying anything, get away with doing anything. So they're not used to guys like me. Because, see, I don't give a fuck about
you. We don't kowtow to them.
I don't care what you got to say or how you feel. If I'm not fucking you, I just don't.
We all agree that we're not going to kowtow to them. That's
not going to happen.
But when you address them as funky bitch,
right?
that's where she becomes a little defensive. That's where she goes on edge at. So, like I said, I agree with you 99% of this one. But then when you call them funky bitch, that's when you give them the open door to say, well, I don't want to fuck with blah, 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 blah. That's where we invite the vitriol in. If we lose the funky bitch, then we're probably good.
Well, I'm gonna say this right now. I'm inviting any ladies, open invitation to come on this show. You see it right there, wherever you are. Get through to Chantel. Get through to us at Dudes Talk Shit on Twitter, and an open invitation to come on this show. Now, there's one lady I know who will come on this show. We know. Tierra is going to come on anytime. That's the one.
Tierra comes on all the time, and I give her a bunch of shit, and she gets shit, and it just that's just it. It's nothing personal. It's not mean spirited. But what you're not gonna come on here and do is tell us it's all men's fault. What you're not gonna come on here and do and tell us every time you do some shit, some man is responsible. What you're not gonna do is come over here and act like women don't have no responsibility in the choices that they make. You're not gonna do that and not get challenged. So if you're that type of woman who's only comfortable in that environment, fuck you. Your pussy probably stink anyway. We don't want you here.
All right. Well, let's enough of that. Let's move on to something. It's been a long time since we've been on here. TJ posted a whole bunch of shit. So let's start. TJ, what's your headline, man? What you want to start with talking about? That's on
my headline is Steve Harvey has made a fortune off these bullshit ass relationships.
2 movies.
These 2 movies. The advice on this show, the advice on his radio show and his television show. And it has recently been discovered that his daughter, or his stepdaughter, because she's not biologically his daughter, which we're going to get into that because we could have a whole, in case we have a whole segment on that. But his daughter is rumored to be dating Puff Daddy.
Now, how old is his daughter?
Lori Harvey is 22 years old.
And Puffy is 51, ain't he?
Puffy will be 50 years old in November.
Wow.
He's approximately 27, 28 years older than this young girl. Wow. And she's dating him. But and they hanging out in Italy. She caressing his head. They being seen and matching colors and shit. But here's the most interesting. And Steve Harvey is there, cheesing and grinning from Italy because Steve is worth about $140 million. Puffy is worth about $900 million. Puffy can make things happen for Steve. But here's the most interesting part: is Lori Harvey used to date Puffy's son Justin.
Hold on.
Take that.
She used to date Puffy's son. Now she's dating Puffy.
The daddy, yes. And the public displays of affection that you see them in Italy, it's clear something romantic is going on. Literally something going on. But
literally the daddy.
She was dating his son Justin, the one that he named the restaurant after.
Yeah,
he's dating him.
Oh man, they passing her on through the family, then, ain't it?
Now here's another interesting part of that dynamic, which I think is weird as fuck. His wife, Marjorie Harvey, has 3 children. And all their last names have been changed to Harvey, right?
So has he adopted all 3 of them?
Here's the interesting part. When they got married in 2007, Lori Harvey was 10 years old. If you adopt her, I get it. You adopt her, you take her last name. But the other 2 were 22 and 18 respectively when they got married.
Wow.
What kind of weirdo shit is that at 18 and 22, somebody your mama's been dating a few years, you go and change your name after the wedding to reflect his last name? Is that not the weirdest shit in the world?
All of them in that pay scale or whatever. All of them do weird shit. There's no explanation for it. Illuminati or whatever. All of them do weird shit.
I'll say
the only thing I can see myself doing in that tax bracket that I'm not able to do as much now is travel. But as far as, doing lines of cocaine, and buying $1 million Bugattis and $10 million homes, I don't see myself necessarily doing all that. I'm definitely not going to marry someone who has 3 children, 2 of which are grown. And I wouldn't even be comfortable with them changing their last name to mine. Like, what kind of weirdo shit is that?
Well, this is the game that she ran on him. I can speak from experience. I married a woman who had 2 kids who were younger. They were maybe 7 and 9, 7 and 10 at the time. Mm-hmm. But they want, and ladies, forgive me for saying this, but I'll generalize right here. A lot of women want you to adopt them kids, especially when they're that age. If it doesn't go well, and it didn't go well for me, then you're on the hook for child support.
Yeah, you be on the hook for child support.
And Steve Harvey being Steve Harvey, we know that child support check was going to be strong.
But the thing about it was I don't know if he's legally adopted her. The only one he could adopt was Lori, because again, the other 2 children were of adult age. You can't adopt adults.
No, but they probably did that for a status symbol, because their mom was already kind of questionable in her past relationships. Like, wasn't she married to a drug kingpin or something of that nature?
Mm-hmm.
Now she's married to Steve Harvey. For the kids, it's a status symbol. The older kids, the grown kids, it's a status symbol. For the younger one, Marjorie could say, all right, cool, you on the hook for this one right here.
But then it goes to Steve Harvey actually has children of his own. I think he has.
How many does he have? I know he had a lot.
I think he has. I would have to look it up.
Well, how many times has he been married?
3 times.
I want to say 3.
Damn. Well, shit.
Yeah, I think he has a pair of daughters that are twins, and he has a son from the last wife.
Okay.
And I just find it strange, if I was a child, why would I think he has 4 or 5. My question would be, how did you put this woman's children on the same level as us? You understand what I'm saying? Like, these motherfuckers is grown. How did they become Harvey? I've been a Harvey all my life. Through the good times, through the bad, through the ups and the downs. Through you and my mama divorcing, y'all going back and forth. We went through all of that as Harveys. How did you all become Harveys? Because he started fucking with your mama.
Because his pimp hand ain't that strong, like we discussed
ain't that strong.
Earlier.
And I find
and he's a lot. He's for show.
It's a complete.
He's for ratings. He's for clickbait. He's for women, and nothing wrong with women empowerment, but he plays that simp role that he's going to give all this advice. But is he taking his own advice? Because let's just go ahead and call a spade right now. My daughter's 20. I'd be damned if she dates some 50-year-old dude. I don't care if it's Puffy. I don't care if it's Pharrell.
Let's be clear. We can't stop. We can't stop who they date. Where did Trump go?
I don't know.
We can't stop. We can't stop who they date. But I don't have to approve it. It won't get my blessing.
I ain't taking trips with him.
I'm not taking.
I ain't out there in Paris sipping wine with the dude.
With me and this dude, because once me and this dude is off alone, it's gonna be a confrontation.
Yeah, a physical confrontation.
What is your old ass doing with my daughter, man? You know my daughter is young enough to be your daughter, right? Right? Because I got a 29-year-old about to be 30. And if she ever came to me talking about she dating somebody 50 plus, I don't want to meet him. You know me well enough to know how that's going to go. I'm confrontational with the men your age. So you know how it's going to go.
30, like you said, you can't control what they do.
I can't control, but I'm not giving my blessing. That's not me walking you down the aisle. Yeah. It's just not. That's too fucking old. And then I'm thinking, not only that, but we have to understand that Puffy got his first baby mama, Misa Hilton Brown. She got pregnant at 16 when Puffy was 26. It was 23 or 26, one of the two. But he was a fucking adult fucking with a minor. Yeah. So a 22-year-old would have to literally be voluptuous and laying in the bed. And we could talk about this off the air, but I put a 21-year-old out of my house in the bed, rubbing her down butt naked. And come to find out at that time, she asked me how old was my daughter. I told her. She said, what month was she born in? I told her. She's like, well, I'm only 3 years older than her. I said, you got to get dressed. You got to get dressed. You got to go. What's the matter? Look, I'll explain it to you later. But I can't see me being romantically interested in any way somebody that much younger than me. And I
can't have an adult conversation with him.
Right.
And that's the whole thing. I can't, like I said, my daughter's 20, and I'm still in the process of trying to treat her like an adult. But let me meet some chick that's 23. No, we ain't got too much to talk about.
We ain't got nothing to talk about now. If she catch me in a compromising situation, and I don't know, that's different. But once you motherfucker tell me you 22, that's it. It's a wrap. I can't do nothing with you no more. At all. Why does Trump keep fading in and out of the picture? What is he doing?
He's experimenting with this thing. This is new to him. So
he should have had this shit all mastered prior to. I need to create a page because this is pretty fucking dope. I wonder how much it costs to motherfucking sign up on this pussy ass shit. So yeah, that's the thing with Puffy, and then there's the thing with Nicole Murphy, Layla Rashawn, Antoine Fuqua.
They let that one blow over because, well, you had so much stuff happen after that. But yeah, it was hot for a minute. But
it was hot for a second, and women lost their mind. And my whole thing is, first thing was I jokingly made a meme that started to circulate that said it had a picture of her and a picture of Nicole Murphy, and it said "fuck them vows." And everybody's like, "Oh, you just getting upset because that's fucked up. You could get her a gym membership. You could get a motherfucker gym membership. You could get they ain't gotta go." And people kept saying she got lupus, and I'm like, after a while,
it never came out that she had lupus. It never was exposed.
I'm like, where did y'all get that from? Y'all keep repeating this shit.
They like to set up and run with it.
I know plenty of people with lupus that ain't blew up. I know people that have thyroid issues. They give you medicine for that. You all have diagnosed her based on what? And then, after some further digging, come to find out that Antoine Fuqua is her second husband.
Yeah, her whole facts ain't check out.
Her first husband was the dude Shabba-Doo, who played what is it?
Breaking.
Turbo Ozone, the light-skinned dude.
No,
her first husband. And she was dealing with him while he was married with a wife and children, at the same time, she was also dealing with Jackie Jackson, who was married with children. So when everybody was talking about, Nicole gonna get her karma, I'm like, well, is anybody taking into consideration that this might be Layla Rashawn's karma right now?
Hey, before y'all continue, pause for 1 second. All right, hold on for 1 second. This is a new system we on, so we having a little difficulty right now. That's why you keep seeing me go in and out. So I need y'all. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna restart the broadcast. So keep the same. All right. So what we talking about last time? We were talking about Steve Harvey, and he got about 8 wives. Now what was you talking about last time before we got cut off?
Talking about Layla Rashawn. We was finishing.
Layla Rashawn. Okay. And now I got a question about Layla Rashawn. I saw a post you put on Facebook. And you said fuck them vows.
Yeah, fuck them vows. Real simple, fuck them vows.
I do have another not a bone to pick, but something you posted earlier that a few days ago that was funny to me. I'll get to it in a minute. But I'm gonna get into my headline, then we're gonna get to John's headline, then I'm gonna tell you about that post. My headline is basically I moved, as you can see. I'm in Silver Spring, Maryland now. I like it out here. It's nice. It's beautiful. I ain't gonna say too much because I don't know who's watching, but I've had some beautiful young ladies over here recently.
Oh,
cousin Diddy. One of them ain't cost me a damn thing. Maybe a couple of bottles. That's about it.
So you roofing chicks and getting them drunk in order to have sex with them. Never blow up because these bitches is gonna come back and say they're gonna Me Too the fuck out you.
No.
Me Too me with those.
No roofing needed here. No roofing needed. I'm not you and I'm not Brian. So
Brian pays, but we ain't gonna talk about Brian because he's not here.
Yeah, shout out to Brian who's now doing the podcast with me called No Filter Sports. Our former co-host on there who TJ and them, they just couldn't get along. But anyway, so that's my headline. I moved. I like it. It's much smaller than when I was in Baltimore, but it's better. It's a better neighborhood, and that's my headline since the last time. What about you, John? You got anything headline you want to talk about?
Yeah, I like to talk about this new NBA rule, basically the Rich Paul rule. So, as we all know, Rich Paul is the agent to the megastars in the NBA, the LeBrons, the ADs, people of that nature. And they have just implemented a rule 2 days ago that if a new player coming to the NBA, probably someone straight out of college, when they sign an agent, he has to have a college degree when he signed. Rich Paul does not have a college background.
Wait a minute.
That's what the
That's not the rule. That's not the rule. That's not the rule.
Clarify. If I messed up, and clarify.
The rule is in the NCAA, when an athlete is testing the waters of going into the NBA, not whether he's going to declare for the draft or something like that, but when he's testing the waters, they can consult with an agent or potentially sign with an agent, but they can consult with them.
But the agent they have to sign for, if they get an agent,
right?
That agent that they hire must fit the requirements of the league.
Must fit the requirements. But see, the thing is these are those players who are testing the waters. And then if they find that there is no interest, they can withdraw from the draft and still maintain their college eligibility. The people that Rich Paul is signing, they definitively are going into the NBA. And he ain't got nothing to do with that.
With this rule, let's say Zion is coming out next year.
Right.
Let's just put Zion in the 2021 draft.
Right.
Rich Paul could not sign Zion Williamson.
But nobody could sign him as long as he's using his eligibility to play. Now, if he's testing the waters, then he can sign with an agent to garner to see what kind of interest is out there. And if the interest isn't there, he can withdraw his declaration to move on to the NBA as long as he still qualifies to have his eligibility in the NCAA. But what the NCAA is saying is, in order for you to be one of those agents that deals with them that are testing the waters, you have to have a bachelor's degree. You got to go through a certification program at the NCAA location. These aren't the players that Rich Paul are interested in. Rich Paul
Rich Paul already has a core group of established superstars.
Right. So if Zion is coming out and he's declared for the draft, Zion would be a player Rich Paul would be interested in because we know that Zion is going first.
Yeah,
this is Wally Smith,
the new guy coming into the league. But what this does, though, is eliminate the future Rich Pauls out there who don't have that bachelor's, and it handcuffs them into getting to that realm.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're either gonna have the Rich Pauls or you're going to have the David Falks, the superstar agents, or you're going to have an agent that has one player. But generally speaking, an agent ain't really interested in somebody that's testing the waters of coming out. Okay, you played 1 year fucking college. You had a so-so year.
But say if I'm that young cat who's trying to get established in the league. Again, a veteran's not really going to put his career in contracts in your hands because you're improving. But if you're a player who's just coming from overseas, you get with a young cat who isn't established in the game, that hampers that young cat from even getting in the game. Because really, when you look at what Rich Paul did, LeBron met Rich Paul when he was selling jerseys out the trunk of his car. And he took a chance on Rich Paul, and LeBron was already going to be the next heir apparent. It wasn't like we had to wait to see what this is going to happen with LeBron. What this new rule does is eliminate any future guys from stepping into that don't meet this requirement.
I mean,
and anybody could be an agent, but not everybody could be an agent.
But see, here's the thing why I think it's an overreaction. LeBron was projected to go number one when he met Rich Paul.
Yeah.
LeBron has been projected to go number one whenever he declared for the draft since his sophomore year of high school. So it wasn't like when he met Rich Paul was able to elevate his status in the eyes of NBA scouts. They was already projecting the kid to go number one when he was a sophomore in high school. So I think it's an overreaction because
he lucked up into that situation.
Right, Rich Paul lucked up into that situation. So take it for instance, me. I can catch someone that's coming out that's declaring for the draft and they take a chance with me. If you declare for the draft and we know you're going to be drafted, that NCAA rule don't affect nobody.
Nah, but like let's not even look at the kids who are going to be drafted. Let's look at the free agents who get into camp. Let's look at the cats who are in the D League who probably don't have any representation right now because you ain't making that much to pay.
But guess what? They're not. If they're in the D League or if they're in the G League, they are not eligible to play in the NCAA. So again, the rule does not affect them. This is about college players, not professional.
He tried to get drafted. He didn't get drafted. He's looking for some representation. That's the way I interpreted the rule. A guy looking for representation, and the representation he has.
But that's not what, and that's what I'm telling you. That's not what the rule says. The rule says, okay, I'm a player in the NCAA. I'm a freshman. I had a good season. I think in my mind, I'm good enough, even though nobody is talking about drafting me. I'm thinking I'm good enough to declare for the draft and go to the NBA. I can hire an agent to contact general managers, coaches to see if anybody is interested in me. I can hire somebody to do that. And if nobody shows any interest, I could be like, okay, I'm going to keep my NCAA eligibility and go back to school. That agent who I got to send out feelers, this rule affects him. The reason they're trying to make it the Rich Paul rule because it's inflammatory and it's knee-jerk, but Rich Paul would not be interested in representing me. Rich Paul is gonna represent the LeBron James. He's gonna represent the Chris Paul. He's gonna represent the Anthony Davises. He's not gonna represent the Joe Jenkins, who had a hot season and think that nobody scouted him in high school. Nobody scouted him in college. He just had a good 2 or 3 games and he had a hot hand in the NCAA March Madness tournament. So he got his head big and think that he can fucking go into the NBA. But the reality of it is that he can hire somebody to put out feelers. But if he doesn't declare that I'm going into the NBA draft, he can always go back to the NCAA and play. This rule only reflects that type of agent. It don't stop a Rich Paul in the NBA parking lot linking up with Zion Williamson. It don't stop that. It don't affect that at all.
Is Rich Paul Zion's agent?
No, he didn't sign with Clutch Sports.
Okay. Well, I tell you,
I had to step away because I had a cat here who needs to be fed. But part 2 of what I was going to say is they're now calling, and they've always been calling, but I forgot. Chris Broussard is now calling for the top college recruits to go to HBCUs instead of PWCs, which I don't mind him calling for that. But in reality, is that really going to happen?
No.
Like, we all looking at A&T, and every black person loves North Carolina A&T, whether they went there or not. Their athletic program is up and coming. They put a couple of cats in the NFL, and their alumni do support. But I can't foresee a guy who's scheduled to go to Duke going to North Carolina Central.
Well, here's the problem with that. The problem is that they're not going to the HBCUs. That's not the problem. The problem has been, and until it changes, always will be, is the fact that college athletes are being exploited by the schools for billions of dollars. And all they get is a funky ass scholarship, room and board, and the meal plan. Until you start paying them. Well, that's what a problem lies. So if you send everybody to Howard, and you send everybody to Florida AMU, and you send everybody to Hampton, and you send everybody to this particular school or that particular school, all you doing is you still lining the pockets of the NCAA, and you lining the pockets of these schools while these students are starving.
Well, here's the thing. I'm all for playing the players, but how do you pay the players? Because again, let's take my school again. Look at Duke, for instance, again.
Hold on, yeah.
Duke basketball is the money maker.
Hold on.
Football overall is the most money maker for most of these predominantly white schools. How do you pay the kid on the baseball team, which would have been me? How do I get paid? How do you pay the track team? You pay
it based on the money that particular sport generates. Basketball generates millions upon millions of dollars for a school. If a school has a basketball bench of 13 players and you pay them $35,000 a year to play, that's not even $500,000 when you're making millions of dollars. How much does Coach K get paid?
He gets paid for multiple. He has multiple streams of income.
We're gonna pick up this conversation in a minute, y'all. Hold on, because we got a special guest joining us. I want to introduce y'all to the First Lady. She's on Rip Radio Network. She is on Cookie Chronicles is her show, her podcast, and I needed somebody brave enough to come on the show because for those who have been watching the show knows that TJ, the Chicago kid, has scared most of our females away. So I needed to bring on somebody who don't be fooled by her baby voice.
I haven't scared nobody away.
I just threw her in the cage and she doesn't know.
I don't know what's happening.
I haven't scared anybody. But just for the record, Jarmon, Coach K makes $9 million a year. If you pay each one of those players $35,000 for a season, how many games are they playing the whole season? What, 20 games? So if you pay them $35,000, if you pay them $35,000 for the season,
35.
We're talking about sports.
How
now.
much are you paying the cat who doesn't get in?
You pay him the same amount.
Do you know anything about sports, First Lady?
Absolutely not. Not my forte.
It's not a forte.
Not her forte. Now,
but we're going to move on though, because
we're gonna get back to that. We're gonna get back to that because I like to talk. No, it's fine. It's fine. So, welcome to Dudes Talk Shit. This is our podcast. We are on the Russo brand network. Vince Russo, former WWE writer. This is episode number 29. And we are live here. Brian used to be part of this show. You know Brian, but Brian and TJ can't stand each other. So Brian is no longer part of the show. But we wanted to invite you on. I'm pretty sure this will be the last time you come on because TJ will he will piss you off and you won't come back.
Why you already playing this? Why you already playing this in her head like I'm gonna be some kind of foul ass nigga? She gonna automatically be on the defensive when she interact with me. I ain't even got the chance to say nothing yet. You already told her that I'm the black Satan incarnate, motherfucker. Chill out.
No, I ain't telling you the black Satan. We close, but I do want to say this. You posted, and I want to get your thoughts on this, First Lady. TJ, you posted earlier this week that you are tired of when somebody asks you how many kids you have, they also ask you how many baby mamas you have. So, how many kids do you have?
I have 5.
And how many baby mamas do you have?
I have 5.
So what pisses you off about that? I want to know. It's the truth. But what pisses you off?
It's fucking rude.
Why is it rude?
It's rude. Would you want somebody to ask you how many abortions you had? Ain't that a little personal?
Abortions is different from how many kids you have. Because kids you actually have and interact with presently. Abortions really don't matter.
Let me ask you
my
this.
Abortions don't affect you.
If you had the children of my mothers don't, but the children of my mothers of my children don't affect you either. If you had 5 children,
but they do.
Hold on, wait a minute.
They do.
If we're having a conversation, whether we having a casual conversation or showing romantic interest, trying to get to know each other. If I ask you, do you have any children? You say, yeah, I have children. And then my next question is, well, how many children you have? Oh, I got 5 children. You don't think that it's really fucking inappropriate for the follow-up question is, do they all got the same daddy?
No. Not if we are planning on dating. Not if this is a romantical type of situation. No. If we're just friends, like platonic friends, and we are not going to date and we're just getting to know each other just as friends, and I would never ask you how many mothers you have of your kids because I don't care. But if we're dating, if we're fucking, if we're thinking about a relationship, yes, I'm going to ask.
We shouldn't be fucking if I don't know how many kids you got or I don't know how many children's mother you got. So let's back that up because you jumped too far ahead. I said that if we're having a conversation and I asked you, do you have any children? Yes. And I said, how many you have? I have 5. You don't find that forget all other caveats.
No.
If we dating,
no, I don't.
If we this, you don't find that offensive.
Not at all. And
I find it.
Maybe it's only offensive to you because you have more than the average person.
No, I find
it
offensive because it ain't your motherfucking business. I ain't asked you to take care of them. I ain't asked you to feed them. I ain't asked you to shelter them.
But when we ask that, we're thinking long term. If we gonna be dating, even if we gonna be fucking,
you're automatically assuming this is about romance.
Listen, wait a minute. If I'm calling you to make plans, if I'm calling you because I want to go out of town, if I'm calling you because I just want to meet up with you, and I have to constantly hear, oh, I have my kids, I have my kids, I have my kids, and
If
it
you
is
have
multiple
a
kids,
problem with that, then
then
once you find out
people
who
with
has,
kids
you
have,
shouldn't
not
have
all of
that
them,
point.
have issues with their baby mother. The baby
Now
mother
I'm
find out you dating
thinking.
somebody new, they won't let you see the kids. So yes, I want to know how many kids, and I want to know how many baby mama issues you got. Yes, I want to know.
Go
Because
ahead,
that
Jarmon.
lets me know. That gives me the option of deciding if I want to deal with you or not. Do I want to deal with 5 baby mothers? Do I want to deal with 5 kids?
Now I'm thinking he's talking about just off the initial. We're sitting at the bar at Jasper's, right by each other, making
No, it's not
conversation.
rude. It's not rude.
See that,
It
and see
depends.
that's here's the thing. Now, okay, now Trump, now your warning is about to be warranted. I think that's some bullshit. I think that that's some complete bullshit. I think women in this today's society feel like they shouldn't have no boundaries. They shouldn't have no limits. They shouldn't be restricted by what they say. For her to sit there and say she would not have a problem with us sitting at the bar, just like Jarmon said,
We're always
having a conversation, and me asking, well, how many abortions you had? How many abortions you had?
Again,
how many times you got pregnant by a nigga that you didn't know? Excuse me?
That's not relevant.
What? See what I'm saying? How is it not relevant? To me, how many abortions you have lets me know what kind of morals you have. So how is it not relevant?
That's not relevant. Because again, they're not present and they're not current. Them dead babies is not.
This ain't got nothing to do with the babies being present.
They're not affecting you.
All right, let's
morality. If you had 5 or 6 fucking abortions, you ain't got no morals.
Quite angry about this issue.
So why wouldn't that? Why wouldn't that be relevant in the same way whether I got baby mamas? Go ahead, Jarmon.
Abortion can be a little touchy. Is it proper to discuss body count off a initial 5-minute conversation?
No, not with no one. I don't think it's ever okay to talk about body count.
See what I'm saying?
I think body count, well, here's my thing about body count. Body count is becoming a non-issue to me, and I'll tell you why. Because nobody tells the fucking truth about it. Nobody tells the truth about the body
They're
count.
never going to tell the truth, ever. So it doesn't matter. Why even ask?
Yeah, I don't even ask about it. Now. Back in the day, a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, how many people you did? It was important. But now, just knowing that motherfuckers never tell the truth about it, it don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about the body count anymore.
I would think it'll be more
I never told a nigga what it was. It don't matter.
What's it, John?
It is
I would just think it would be more inappropriate to ask about an abortion if I just met you than your body count.
I'm just saying, how is it that abortions are irrelevant, your body count is irrelevant, but during a casual conversation, how many kids? I mean, if you want to get to know me, how many kids, that's fine. But when you automatically go to how many baby mamas, that ain't your motherfucking.
You got a lot.
We simply have it. Why do you need to know how many baby mamas I got? Why is that important? Why is that relevant in this conversation? And I have said that. Why everybody going out?
Everybody disappeared. What happened? Everybody there? My internet is good. Everybody.
Yeah, mine is good. I just don't feel like it gets to a point where it's necessary for that to come up immediately. Like I was talking to this chick the other day, and it was like,
if you can hear First Lady, we can't see you. Your video went away. But go ahead.
How many baby mamas you got? And I'm like, how many baby mamas I got? I mean, then she just said how many baby mamas I got. She's like, do they all got the same mothers? I'm the same father. All of them got the same father.
Well,
that's all that matters.
I agree and disagree with you at the same time. I agree and disagree with you at the same time. Here's where I agree with you. Like, to me, it kind of seems like you fishing for something by asking me that question. All right, now here's where I disagree with you. Maybe she's trying to figure out, well, why do you have so many baby mamas? Maybe she's trying to correlate how you are with, or your loyalty with how many different women you've been with.
Well, you don't need that much information when we just met 5 minutes ago. Everybody ain't got to know.
Yeah, 5 minutes ago, no, that's 5 minutes ago. No, I mean that's why is that part of the conversation? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Within the first 5 minutes.
That's what we're saying. I don't need to dispose my whole life story to you over a drink, you having a bone crusher, me having some Crown Royal, and we just met. That's not
okay. Let me slide in here.
3 weeks down the line, maybe, but not how you doing. I ain't even give you my real name. You ain't even give me your real name, and you trying to dip into my DNA. Nah.
Here's where it's a cultural issue. Here's where it's a cultural issue.
Got you back.
Within our community, our women a lot of times take such a defensive stance that they look for shit to point out imperfections, and they try to use those imperfections to gain an advantage of the interaction. So if you got 5 kids by 5 different women, I can look at you and I can treat you a certain way. And I'm of the understanding of don't interact with people in a way you won't want them to interact with you. Because if you start asking me personal, intimate questions that you want to know regarding what you think is my decision making, then when I do the same thing, you're not in a position to be offended. And like I say, when that question comes from me from now on, my fallback question is, how many dicks have you sucked? Now, that might be offensive. But at the end of the day,
come on, man. You cannot compare how many abortions you had and how many how many children you have and how many baby mothers you have.
You're not asking me the type of
father I am. Extreme as shit.
You're not asking me what exactly. Sometimes not every action deserves the opposite reaction. Sometimes some actions deserve a fucking nuke as a response. Because if you let a person go so far and they get comfortable, they're going to always test you. If you feel comfortable enough to ask me questions where you can make a judgment on me and my character, then I should be able to do the same thing. So if you feel like my character is going to be reflective in how many children I have, how many baby mamas I got, it ain't got shit to do with the fact that 4 out of the 5 children I've gone to court and got custody for. It ain't got shit to do with I'm raising the youngest.
That'd be the third question.
But it's never the question, because it's always, if you got 5 kids, you got 5 baby mamas, then I know you ain't an type of niggas. Okay, so how many dicks have you sucked? How many men have you fucked? How many abortions have you had? How many one-night stands have you had?
Again, you're going from one extreme to the next. You can't ask some of the questions that you asking what the actual question is.
Are you not asking that question to make a determination on my character? About the baby mamas?
I'm not. I'm gonna figure out your character regardless. I don't give a fuck. Like, those questions being asked have nothing to do with me trying to judge your character. Again,
man,
like I said 20 minutes ago, it goes back to how many baby mothers do I gotta fucking deal with?
Why do you feel like you need to deal with any of them?
Because a lot of times, as a new woman, whether y'all just fucking or not, if the baby mother know that he is dealing with you, it's an issue majority of the time, which is why a lot of women don't niggas that got.
But again, you made a judgment. You made a judgment.
So let me tell you. And as far as I'm concerned, when I'm dating and trying to get to know somebody, yes, I ask how many kids you have, how many baby moms do you have, how many do you have custody of them? The next question is, do you have any drama? Are y'all cool? Are y'all friends? Can y'all still chill? Are y'all on good terms? That's my series of questions. But again, it has nothing to do with your judgment. It's helping me to decide if you do have baby mama drama, do I want to deal with it or not?
But that goes
especially
back,
if it's bad.
That goes back to the same thing of asking about the body count. Nobody's gonna motherfucker say, yeah, I got baby mama drama. Nobody's gonna say, oh, my baby daddy, he shoots that motherfucker when he think I'm fucking with somebody else or I have somebody around his kids. Nobody is going to tell that. So you're really not getting the answers that you want from questions. You're just being fucking nosy and trying to make a judgment. That's it. Because if you got a baby father that's fucking crazy, that's gonna shoot a nigga that you fucking, are you gonna tell that dude the first time y'all start talking? Exactly.
I can't believe you think that those are crazy questions to ask.
Did she answer my question?
Wait. I wasn't even listening to your question because I was thinking about what I was about to say to you.
Oh, so you one of those types.
Let's go a little further. No, don't act like I didn't listen to everything else you said. I just didn't listen to that. Now let's go.
Magnificent chemistry. I like it.
Say you and this woman that asked you all these questions, or maybe she didn't ask you all these questions. Let's say she didn't ask. Y'all get serious. And you do happen to have a little baby mama drama here and there, or y'all get married. If you have to pay child support, if you're one of those men that pay child support, the courts go off of how much you pay when you get married, both people's income. So you mean to tell me, as a woman that is going to marry you and you have all these kids and these baby mamas, child support too, that my income is going to be included in what shit you had going on prior to me? Those questions.
Y'all ever notice how sisters will tell you and chastise you about going through one extreme, but at the same time will turn around and go through the extreme? Now she went all the way from the follow-up question. She went from the follow-up question being how many baby mamas you got to my income is going to be paying your child support. Why is that not going to the extreme?
You went from one extreme to the next. I'm just going with your flow, and that's all.
I feel like asking someone how many do their children have the same father, or asking a woman, do your children have the same mother, is inappropriate.
Well, look,
that's somebody to tell you. That's not for you to go digging. Once you start, look, from that point going forward, I don't have interest in a conversation with you. Period. And that's what I had to do with the youngin' the other day. We were just having a casual conversation. I ain't asked you to take care of my motherfucking kids. I ain't asked you to do nothing. Why the fuck you need to know who they mamas is? What? You gonna go fight them? What? And why is it that black women automatically assume the worst of black men? Whereas if a man has a child, they automatically have baby mama drama. Why is it that if all you're doing is saying what type of woman you would be if you were somebody's baby mama and you wasn't together? You would be the baby mama drama. So why is it that we automatically got? I don't have baby mama drama. I have lawyers. I've had lawyers. I don't have baby mama drama, but it's just fine. I just find it amazing that in interacting with women of different walks of life, that sisters automatically assume that a black man with children might have baby mama drama. So what is black women that when they become baby mama dramas, they become baby mamas, and they're not with the fathers, that they're automatically prone to being problematic.
We getting off this subject, all right? Because we've been on this subject quite a while. I didn't want to be on this subject this long. I did. Well, I don't think we ran out of subjects. Yeah, I said this was be 30 minutes.
When you kind of cutting in my nap time.
I'm sorry, Jarmon. Look. We about to cut the show off because we way over time. I want to thank I know she'll probably hate me. I know I'm gonna get cussed out in a few minutes. She got that. Wait till I text and call this nigga look on her face right now for not telling me about this.
You got that Metro PCS phone.
No, people keep calling me, so it cuts off the stream.
Well, I want to thank you. We're going to bring you back under much different, if you would like to, under much different circumstances, because that topic went way too long.
So now, this is where you need to talk about the pimp-hand. This is where you need to address the pimp-hand.
No, pimp-hand ain't no proper hold control. The pimp-hand is weak. Pimp hand weak.
Don't, hey man, I'm not Brian now. Don't, no. I'm far from a beta male, sir.
I don't believe the first lady was offended. She held her own.
Oh, I knew she was gonna hold her.
I
knew she's gonna hold her own. That's why I invited her on here.
But then hold her own.
You went on
talking over somebody and not listening to the other side is not holding y'all.
Because TJ don't listen. TJ just talk. That's all he does.
Listen, I've been on the podcast for a whole year with a guy like him, so it's all good.
He's nothing like me.
I'm straight.
I promise you, he's nothing like me. You got a very, very, very extremely mild version of me today.
Oh, I'm sure. This was just the first time. I'm looking forward to part 2.
Yeah, part 2. Yeah, we gonna have to do that soon, and yeah, he'll be in your inbox. Asking you to come on part 2.
Trump got to get off now because his escort is on the way.
yeah, right. Well, look, man, thank y'all for listening to Dude Talk Shit. I mean, watching, listening, whatever you're doing. Episode 29, we are back. Hopefully, some of you ladies who are watching will see that TJ is not that bad.
I'm not that bad. I'm just not gonna just let you come in and steamroll. Like you.
Like who?
Captain Beta.
Shit, you talking? Who fuck you think this is, Brian?
Oh, now you want to curse? Now you want to curse at me, but you can't get your women.
Calling me beta, nigga? You must be crazy.
You beta.
Man, beta shit. Ain't no beta over here, but I listen.
Kids.
I listen to both sides. See, Brian takes one side only. But if you're wrong, I'm gonna tell you wrong. But if you're right, I'm gonna agree with you. But that ain't got shit to do with beta.
Whatever.
Everything to do with this shit right here. Everything to do with it right there.
Nigga, it's 2:00 in the afternoon.
Goddamn motherfucking right. It could be 2 a.m. and I'll still be sipping. But that's it, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you, First Lady. I was getting ready to call your governor.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yes, indeed. I will hit you in a few.
Okay.
All right.
Peace out.
All right, man. We gone. That's it. News Talk Shit. Later.